guys. You can follow me at Her Patriot Voice.
Yeah, but I do have some questions for you.
Yeah.
Why would you say you support ICE?
Yeah, because they would get rid of these rapists and murderers that killed American women.
So are all of the immigrants that come into America rapists and killers?
Nope.
Oh, okay, so
let's get rid of these ones. You agree with that?
yeah.
Okay, so you support ICE removing them.
No. I support the condemnation, as you said, of a rapist. You know, there are white rapists, there are black rapists, there
are white immigrant rapists as well.
Okay, but again, there are rapists of different colors.
Why does the color matter when it comes to rape?
You just made it about you just made it.
No,
about
you did.
Color. No, you did. You said ICE.
You brought up white rapists.
Okay, because you said that immigrants rape. Right? So white people rape.
I didn't say immigrants rape. I said these immigrants raped.
So those immigrants raped. What about white people that raped?
What about them?
Are there no condemnations for them?
Absolutely. We're condemning rape as a whole, but if these people wouldn't have been able to enter under Biden's open border policies, these women would still be alive today.
Right. So what about the people who are coming to America for a better life because they were experienced similar situations where they came from?
Yeah, they can come here for a better life. I'm all for legal immigration.
Legal immigration. Okay, so what about, so our president here, his name is Trump. That's a pretty racist man.
How?
How?
Give me an example of his racism.
News.
Give me one example. Just give me one example.
Just watch the news, sweetheart. There are plenty of examples.
Watch the news, sweetheart. Give me one example that he's racist.
Okay, Trump has flat out, flat with the racism.
How?
Comments, concerns.
What comments? Name one comment that he said that was racist.
Okay.
Because if he's racist, I want to know, because I don't want to support a racist.
So you support Trump?
I do, yeah. Can you tell me why he's racist?
She supports Trump.
So we've been sitting here for nearly a minute now, and she has still yet to tell me one thing that Trump has said that's racist.
Okay, so if we're going to be quite honest, I couldn't give you a specific.
I know, you can't.
Oh, no, I'm not done speaking. I couldn't give you a specific because I don't pay attention to idiocy. And
okay.
That's idiocy.
So if you're going to call someone racist, I think you should be able to prove it.
Watch the news.
Pull up a clip where he's racist. Go ahead.
Oh, great. I'm so glad you asked.
It must not have been racist enough to remember, because you have to look it up. How do you guys feel about ICE?
Oh, all of these people are...
Thumbs up for ICE, thumbs down.
People that are against ICE.
I'm asking people. What's wrong with asking people their opinion?
I didn't say...
Did you find the racist clip yet?
Wrong with that. I just said that there were people. Majority of them here are against ICE.
How do you know that?
Because I know them.
Okay. Well, he supports ICE.
You support ICE? Which one? You? You support ICE? Oh, okay. I didn't think so.
What does ICE stand for?
Babe.
So you don't support something that you don't even know what it stands for?
Oh, I didn't respond for a reason.
Can you tell me what it stands for?
No, we're gonna go back to the Trump racism.
Right, okay.
People are spending thousands of dollars sending their children to these indoctrination camps, man. And if this is the best that they have to offer, man, I mean, I feel really, really bad for the money being wasted, on these college campuses, man. Celeste, what are your thoughts?
This is the best that they have to offer.
Right.
Because this is exactly what the school is intended to do. It is living to its mission. Most of us are confused because we either came of age at a time or we wrongly believe that the purpose of the school was something different than this level of indoctrination. I think this is a perfect scenario that you showed. And that is the absolute intellectual and psychological depravity of the Black woman. We have got to really understand that these Black liberal women are being driven insane. And by insane, I mean being driven beyond logic. You do not want to be in a position where you cannot access a logical train of thought when needed. That is a dangerous way to live your life. It is okay to have emotions. God gave us emotions for a reason. Emotions are supposed to be a signal for you. They're supposed to transmit through a signal, which is what you feel, some intelligence about the conditions around you. That's what emotions are for, but they are not to exist in exchange for logical train of thought. You are still supposed to be able to access logical trains of thought when needed, because in life you will need it. So you are supposed to be able to do that. if you really pay attention to liberalism, and particularly how women are processing and understanding, white, black, indifferent, women are processing and understanding it, because the Democrats have removed, and I've said this before, the truth of their ideology, which they will not say. And instead of it, they have replaced it with this access to emotionalism. It is actually driving the women insane. And they have done studies to show that liberal women are the most depressed, they have the highest levels of anxiety, they are the least likely to be happy in marriage. Many of them are choosing not to have children, and even those who have are having difficulty raising and enjoying the experience of motherhood, because they are being driven crazy by this rampant and excessive emotionalism that has no counterbalance for them in the society at all. This is a dangerous place to be. And if that woman had kept going, it is quite possible that that situation would have become violent, because we are seeing, if you look at what happened in Minnesota, if you're starting to look other places, these women are beginning to actually put their bodies on the line in violent situations because their emotionalism is spinning out of control. This is a
Let me ju-
small snippet of a very dangerous issue.
I just want to add, this is what happens when we destroy the family. Because so let's say the counterbalance. I have girls. My girls are and I have three girls. I have a wife and two daughters, and they all act like teenagers a lot of the time. And so there is a high need for the counterbalance in my household. And most men will agree that you need a counterbalance. Because a lot of the time, if they were just able to run amok without me saying anything, they would probably be just like this young lady. And I'm going to go on a limb. I bet you that girl was not raised with a dad in the house that would help her parse through her ideas and sort through them in that degree. And like Celeste said, I'm sure this would have gone, if this went on 4 minutes and 18 seconds, hands would have been thrown, because you can already see it ratcheting up. If you've been around it, you've seen it ratchet up. So this is what happens as the family structure is destroyed. And children are not raised in an environment where they can see male and female, adult male, adult female emotions being properly handled in the household. And therefore, they don't have a way to regulate their own behavior.
Right.
I remember when Big Girl was little, and she would get out of control, and we would tell her, reach up and grab your emotions. Go, reach up, grab them, pull them down. All right, now. Because we would make her do that. It would be embarrassing, and she would hate it. But I'm like, baby, that or we're going to embarrass you in public. So you got a couple of options. You can reach up and grab your emotions and get yourself under control, or I can reach and you will be in control. So teaching them that, because they don't have a dad in the house. Dads are vital. Shout out to pops, shout out to moms that are trying their best. But I think we all can agree God's perfect design was for a dad to be in the house.
There has to be balance.
Absolutely.
There you go.
What I'll say is that I agree with Celeste and Jay Witt about the family, but I'm gonna take it a step further. This is why they decided to remove God from America, and this is why I like I said, they changed that word from speak the truth to speak your truth. That's why they changed that. So people now feel emboldened, because I'm going to read this to you. Trump is a racist because he's erasing Black History daily, refused to allow Jesse Jackson to be buried where he was supposed to be. He got rid of the only brown coin we had with Abraham Lincoln on it, has targeted Black women like yourself in high places of government, endorsed the Triple K. He cut HBCU funding. And I know you will roll your eyes, but the Biden-Harris gave more to HBCUs. Biden appointed more Black female judges instead of taking away jobs from them. And slave masters will kiss and hug and even assault Black men and women. So I guess with that rationale, they weren't racist either. And this is off of my Facebook page, because I told you, them people over there crazy. Them people over there crazy. Okay? Now, mind you, this is somebody that I went to high school with. And back then she had common sense.
Trump's racist because he's getting rid of the penny?
That's what you
Penny. The penny is crazy work, y'all.
That's what you said. I had to look that up.
The only brown coin? Are we being serious? Is this a serious person? Is this
This is a
real?
serious
You should see her
person.
Facebook. Yeah.
It's on Facebook. It's one of the people that I knew in high school, and she's always been a very smart young woman. Not only that, she's supposed to be a woman of God. All of that, and that is her response when I said, I don't get out of this black idolatry because you're not seeing straight. You're not seeing straight because everything you just said sounds absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Did you just say he took away the brown coin, so that means he's racist? Like I have no words for how ridiculous these people are.
Yo,
But
that
this
is insane.
That's a new
That
one.
is insane. I've
Yeah.
never heard that one before. He took away the
Listen,
only brown coin out there. I've never.
AT
Yo,
has
that's
even
stupid.
tried-
Yeah, they was definitely in their feelings with that one.
AT has even tried his best to
ignore me.
hold some people to the feet to the fire. There's one guy, AT calls him a girl. He refuses to even. But every time I speak, it's like you support the racists. But again, when you ask them to articulate, give me actual factual things like what Savannah just did. She said, "Tell me what he has done." Said, "Tell me. Don't just make stuff up. I need to hear." But they literally, you heard what that young girl said. Just watch the news. Just watch the news. So she might be watching an Angela Rye, a Tiffany Cross. She might be watching Roly Poly Martin. She watches those people. So she comes out. Don't forget Bakari Selly's now. And what's the other guy? Mark
Lamont Hill.
Mark Lamont Hill. She might be watching all of them, right? So these are the things that's why she said, watch the news, because this is the logic. I pulled that up on my Facebook purposely for y'all to hear it, because that is the logic that they're running around with. And the sad thing is, I just told you this is a girl I went to high school with, so we're in the same age group, and this is how crazy she's talking. And so just imagine if the Gen Xers and the boomers, quote unquote, are running around with that mindset. No wonder children in college are running around with that same type of mindset, because you have people that are saying the dumbest things that you've ever heard in your life, and they have no point of reference, no receipts, nothing. They have zero, but this is what they're saying. So I just wanted to point that out.
They've been talking about getting rid of the penny since like the 80s.
Long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, granted, yes. Now they're finally going to stop minting it on November 12th, 2025, is when they said that they're going to stop producing pennies. That is true. But it had been in the works for literally decades. I mean, we lose money making
30
pennies.
cents. Yeah, it costs 30
Right,
cents
we lose money
to make
making
1
pennies.
cent.
Yep.
It's from a business, just from a business perspective, it makes absolutely no sense to continue making pennies if the penny is only worth a cent, but it costs you 3 cents to make it. You're losing money every time you make one. It's
Right.
stupid. Rashad, what are your thoughts?
And-
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard right there. Goodness gracious.
I thought the Black History one was pretty bad too, though, but I digress.
Yeah, the Black
I-
history is pretty bad, but the coin, really, they got rid of the one brown
The
coin.
the
That's-
coin is the one. I think I made like a grimace. I was like, when I heard that.
Brown coin.
I think so kind of going back a bit, this is actually a conversation. I actually have this conversation like regularly with all kinds of different people about the Black community and emotions. There's a big problem here. This is where I think one of the biggest problems exists, because when you have these conversations, it just turns into, name calling, people just not listening. The emotions just go from 0 to 100 so fast. And I think that's a huge issue, because in my personal life, anytime I've moved from a more emotional standpoint, I can't think of one time in my entire life where that has benefited me at all. It's always led to some sort of negative outcome. I can't speak for everybody, but in general, that has been definitely my experience. Anytime I move with strategy and with clarity, then like 9 times out of 10, I win at whatever I'm doing. So in our community, we're being told, hey, being emotional and being angry is all the time is okay. We should feel emotional. We should be mad, and we should move like that. But what does that do? It keeps people in that trauma bond, right? That trauma bondage where there's no clarity, there's no thought, there's no strategy. And I always promote this on the channel, like, hey, be strategic. Like I'm against black fragility, right? The term black fragility, where everybody, there's a video where I think it was some sports players thought that somebody called them the N-word over in Japan,
and then
they
football player.
Yeah, and they like, hey, you need to apologize. I should slap you, and it was just ridiculous. And they didn't even say that. They said amiga. It was so stupid. And I was like, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, okay, what if they would have attacked this man? Like you possibly ruining your career, making
the career he has. I mean, he's playing football in Japan. I mean, come on now.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's not soccer. I'm not talking about. It's not soccer either. It's not soccer, but
right.
But whatever it is, I don't know what their laws are there, but I'd imagine they're probably more strict than they are in America. So you're probably not going to get off easy. So a guy's looking at possibly ruining his entire life over a misconception, over mishearing something and overreacting to it. And that's the type of stuff that I mean is we got to be smarter on the whole, right? Like for me, it's not enough if people in this chat, and us talking are, we're getting it. That message has to get out to more people every day so that they know, like, hey, if I'm angry, or if I hear something, or if I see something, I'm not saying to just ignore everything that's an affront to you, but we got to get out of this mindset of we have to overreact to everything. Like, okay, is this overreaction going to benefit me? Like, think about that for a split second. If the answer is no, then keep it moving and go towards whatever your goal is, rather than allowing all of these external factors that are outside of your control to derail your life because you're basically an emotionally unhinged individual.
This young lady is so disappointing because she's going to wind up going on and potentially, I don't know what her degree's in. She could be a manager one day. She could be working in finance. She could be in charge of things that have to do with your bottom line, with your retirements. I have no idea. But she's going to wind up probably being successful in the indoctrination center known as college. I wanted to point out two things that she said that really stick out to me, because y'all, whenever Wise puts these videos up here, I like to find the truth. I don't want to be someone like this who just regurgitates what I hear on the news, because then you run the risk of being wrong, and now you got to double down on wrong, which is what most people unfortunately do, or you have to eat crow and kind of take a step back and humble yourself, which most people don't want to do. Do y'all notice that she just went right by the rape thing? Right. She said she supports, this is her words, she supports the condemnation of rape, but she was not willing to go far enough to say that these people, regardless of skin color, should be arrested, should be jailed, or put to death, depending on where your stance is at. The second it started talking about punishment, she's like, well, no, it's racist. We shouldn't do this. That's where we're at in society. Rape is not that big of a deal anymore, y'all. As long as you have the skin color aligned with the party that wants to protect you, you can do whatever it is you want to do. And then she said, well, they're just deporting the brown people. That's it. Y'all caught that, right? She said it's just the brown people that are being deported, and I couldn't do it. I heard it, and I was like, well, that's a quantifiable thing. We don't have to guess. I know we can lean on the news, but I can take less than 3 minutes to figure out if that's true. It's not, by the way. Going to the American Community Media, which is a liberal source, by the way, just using their numbers, about 67% of undocumented immigrants, illegal immigrants, by the way, come from Mexico and Central America, which means somewhere between, according to their range, 30 to 35%, some from Asia, South America, Europe, Africa, and the Caribbean, do not fall underneath the Hispanic brown populace. So that's not even close to being accurate. And this is what we do. Crystal knows that there's nothing more aggravating than when you ask someone a question. They will come up there and say that Trump is racist, or that they're only deporting the brown people, or all the stuff they have in between. I encourage everyone here, especially if you're a believer, practice your apologetics. Don't just start screaming at them. Just ask them questions. 2 favorite questions. Why do you say that? And where do you get it from? And don't be afraid to ask those follow-ups. Well, I get it from the news. I love what she did, but she shouldn't have let her run. Pull it up right now. Nope, we're not listening. We're not talking anymore. I'm not going to anybody else. I'm not hearing what you have to say. You don't have the mic. We're going to stay right here. Pull it up. And you notice that she couldn't do it. Right? She was uncomfortable with that, because she has been empowered, like a lot of individuals on the left, by mainstream media saying you're a victim. You should be empowered for being a victim. You are individual and unique. We don't really care about the country we're in. You should just care about how people treat you, which should always be positive. And if they don't, they're racist, homophobic, fatphobic, all this stuff in between. I want to make sure that these young individuals are challenged. I'd love Celeste to come with me, Crystal, down to Atlanta and just walk on some of these campuses and see how fast they kick us off of it. Because I want to ask some questions. This is the youth. This is the future of the United States. She could be running for office in the next 20 years if she wanted to.
Jesus.
And she genuinely is getting all of her information, not the encyclopedia. Words mean nothing, so not the dictionary. Certainly not a history book, not facts, figures, or statistics. News. And I wish she would have asked her, do you think the news always tells you the truth? Just to see what her response would have been.
I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Join us Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. Then the Lord hit my chest, kicked death from my breath, put power in my step.